What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Mother Lovin Session. I am your host, Tookie, and alongside me, I have my brother.
The one and only Herbs, the highest voice on the airwaves.
And we are back with a different type of segment this time. We, in the midst of all of the craziness that is going on
Corona.
in COVID, we've had to change our lifestyle completely. And one of the biggest changes that we had was school for the kids. And all of the memes and all of the Facebook statuses have displayed how both parents and teachers have been affected and how they feel about the new virtual learning that we have been putting our kids and our teachers and our parents through. I can't relate because, K squared is still on the smaller end of the scale.
And I also can't relate because I don't have any kids.
Period. So, yeah.
But today, we do have a very special guest with us.
My longtime friend, but also an educator, a scholar, a caregiver, a mother,
A hard-working woman.
Oh, Lord.
and all of the above.
So
Okay,
we'll let her
take
introduce
all of that.
herself.
I'll take all of that. I am Anique. I am a educator of 9 years. I am certified pre-K to 5th grade. I have my bachelor's degree from Clarkland University, the best university in the entire world. I also have a master's degree in early childhood education, and I am blazing trails in this virtual world in the year of our Lord 2020.
It's the Lord's year. That's what we're gonna call this one.
I mean, but that's what
That's
the
why
history
we're
book
here.
said. That's what the history book said. If you go back and look at some of the history books, they'll kind of calculate that. So.
Listen,
we here.
He the only reason I'm here.
Only reason.
2020. We done made it 9 months in this thing, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Keep getting surprises, new surprises every month, every day at this point.
Every day.
But with the virtual learning transition, that is, I'm sure, an everyday surprise when dealing with the kids. Correct?
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. But
so what grade are you teaching now?
I currently teach 2nd grade.
So that is how old?
2nd grade is they're 7, gonna be 8. They're usually 7, end up being 8 by the end of the school year.
So that's that age where they talk back a little bit.
Oh God, I'm not ready.
It depends on the child, you know.
Gotcha.
And the teacher.
Now, wait, I was about to say, does it depend on the child or does it depend on the teacher?
It depends on the child, the parent, the teacher, the environment, the community, and the culture and climate of the school. All of said things.
Gotcha. Okay, understandable. So that's, in layman's terms, it takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely.
Understand.
You know, people and environments put up with what they allow. So yeah, but it really is different, as far as virtual anyway, because you kind of take some of that social aspect out of it. So there isn't the playground, there isn't a lot of downtime social aspect of in the virtual world. I really don't see a time where I would hear somebody talk back or bicker because we're in Zoom, we're in Teams. You see what I'm saying? So it's really that dynamic is a little foreign, a little bit, honestly.
So what would be the day or what is the preparation like for a Zoom call, preparing that class and things of that nature? Because normally, when you first get in class, you sit down, take the roll and do that. So is that process still how does that process work now?
Yeah, I mean, we still have to take attendance, but long story short, every county kind of has a different outlook and a take on what virtual learning looks like for the students in their district. So there are things called just standards of service as far as like how long, you know, each grade band should go on. So obviously like the younger kids, they're not on as long. Then, you know, older kids may be on all day. Younger kids are probably on like 3 to 4 hours a day as far as like face-to-face type of things. But in other counties, they're on like, you know, in 45-minute stints, you know. So every county has different expectations. For me and my class personally, we're on for a longer stint of time to pretty much so that we can mimic a real class, you know, instructional day to a certain extent. Obviously, none of that is an 8-hour school day. You see what I'm saying? But to a certain extent, it's longer blocks of time so that they can get like real instruction. But as far as like the teacher side of that, it's so much more preparation that goes into virtual learning than it is when we are face to face. As far as like, you know, visual presentations, digital work, finding stuff, you know, for them to do digitally, like in class.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that research piece as far as, you know, and then the lesson planning on top of that. And then, I mean, juggling families and homes and,
Right. At
you
home.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, the day to day is much different than a regular school day, and the preparation on the teacher side is a lot more, but it's different. But I mean, me personally, I like it.
Right.
I like being able to balance, like, you know, being home and being able to, you know, cut my computer off and go outside of my office space and like see my child. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about, you know, sitting in Atlanta traffic going to pick him up.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you know, I feel like it's pros and cons, but as far as like just in and out day to day, as far as what my day looks like, it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of time having to carve out planning. It's a lot of time, even like I know a lot of teachers, regardless, we never have enough time, no matter
Yeah.
virtual or not, it's never enough time in the day for us to plan for what we have to do. You see what I'm saying? So it's still times where, you know, I'm working or like doing things outside of school hours, but it's a lot more time carved out to plan, but it's a lot more planning that goes into it. And it's just different. Like now that we're kind of in the middle of it, like it's cool to find a groove, you know, and like the kids have learned all the interfaces, because honestly at the beginning of all of this, the teachers have to learn, you know, it's just uncharted waters. Like we have to learn all of these new things. We have to master Zoom ourselves to be able to teach your child how to do Zoom.
Right.
So like the first couple weeks of school was, you know, hey, Johnny, this is the mute button. Like press that.
Basics.
Right.
The
Yeah,
basics.
you know what I'm saying? So now that we're in a group, like it's moving. I feel like, you know, a lot more families and parents are a little more comfortable, but I know that overall this is not where everybody wants to be.
Right.
So, but
Right.
as far as just the day to day, it's different. I mean, the only similarities, honestly, JT, are like I still have to take attendance. The content, you know what I'm saying? I'm teaching the standards, you know what I'm saying? But like as far as the delivery, as far as the engagement, because it's a lot of screen time, you know, like how do you feel sitting on a meeting with just adults, you know,
Right.
for more than 30 minutes?
Right. And I can't imagine, like, I know you say you teach second grade, right? Like kindergarten, trying to have them sit in front of a computer.
And
Like,
that's where it has to be creative, like, and I feel like all of the teachers that I know personally and deep down in my heart, I don't think I know any teacher that's not trying to find like the most engaging way to get some kids up or to get, you know what I'm saying? Because
mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit on a meeting past 30 minutes where I'm just sitting there. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
like it's gotta be engaging, and that piece is like it's hard sometimes because some content just it's easier for a teacher who's been doing this for so long to engage and know how to engage a kid face to face. But on the computer, and they like to a certain extent you sit behind a screen, but it's like to keep constantly be engaged and to constantly be able to give, you know, brain breaks, time to like breathe and get up or move or things, like you have to constantly do those things so that you can keep the kids ready to come back. Like
Most
that
definitely.
screen time stuff is a beast. Like people, you
Sure.
know, people get headaches from sitting behind screens. Like,
Yeah. And
it's a beat,
then
but it just takes creativity. It really
just off
does.
the strength of having to take a break and then having them come back to the computer, you have to recapture them.
You're right. Have them
Yeah.
come back from
Like now,
moving
like after recess when we was kids, when we were no coming back and we back into groove. What?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
true,
still in
but
play mode.
that is true. I'm not gonna lie. I think that a lot of counties have put a lot of work into what a schedule should look like for these kids too, though. So I think that the shorter stints in general, the shorter stints of time, plus the teacher working in breaks and things, that it makes them be able to like chunk information, be able to come back and focus. So I really haven't personally experienced like such a burnout to where they're doing one thing and don't want to come back and like, reel back in. I think, by the time their focus is drawn off, we almost done, baby. We about to log
right.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've reached out to different people, or I asked on our different social media outlets how virtual learning had been going for them, and just got some feedback on their experiences from both parents and teachers. One, well, of course, I know you said that things are getting a little better now, but I know initially it was a lot of parents were complaining about not being able to get into contact with teachers when it came to needing help with their children's work. Because I think what it is, well, for one, I should say that I get that parents have not been in school for a while. So I know that a lot of it is frustrating, because a lot of stuff is not that they don't know the concept itself, but they don't know it, like it's stuff that they may not know. So I get that part is frustrating, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of parents are used to having the ability to send their kids to school and let their parents deal with it. I mean, let the teachers deal with them for 8 hours of the day. And so now I think this is bringing us back to learning at home, and it's not an easy transition for both parents and teachers. With that being said, is there any advice or any guidance that you can provide for communication between parents and teachers?
Yeah, so I have a few things to say about that piece. So first of all, a lot of a lot of the angst I feel is behind just the unknown on what is my role now. So like as a parent, you can say, okay, well, I have my child here with me, or I have to go to work. So my child has to be, here with someone else, XYZ. But no matter how you communicated before this virtual world, it's totally different now. Like we have to communicate more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So like, as far as you could have dropped your child off in my class for 8 hours, and I mean, I'm the teacher that's gonna overly communicate with you and build a relationship with you in general. So it's really on the teachers and the parents to make sure that there's a relationship in general, so that you can know the expectations. You see what I'm saying? So like, I think that once a clear expectation as far as like what would you like my role as a parent to be, and parent, what do I need from you, teacher, to help this work. So I think for parents out there, if you right now are uncomfortable with the communication or uncomfortable with the content that you're trying to like, help your child with, that starts with the conversation with the teacher. Because I'm gonna be honest, like as a teacher, some of the stuff that I teach now, I know I didn't even learn it like that in
When we
second, third,
supposed
or
to,
fifth grade.
right?
I didn't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I didn't learn certain concepts in which, we're able to teach. Do I understand why I teach math a little different now? Yes, but I have 2 degrees that's, with with the conceptual piece behind it to tell me this is why I should teach it that way. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really think it's about communication. It's a communication piece that we probably never had to have before, but it's really crucial. So like if you're a parent that needs that support, I would not hesitate to reach out to a teacher. I know every teacher is not Miss McMillan. You know what I'm saying? And people's communication styles are different. But I really think that once a relationship is forged with the teacher, you will see that your role, to me, a parent's role is a support piece. Like I don't expect my parent to be sitting next to be sitting next to the student every day.
The entire time.
I really don't.
Right.
I don't want you to be sitting next to your child. I don't mind you, but I just don't think that should, to me, that's not a parent's role to be sitting there and saying, you know, Tookie, right here, 2 + 2 is this. And because again, you as a parent you can reinforce, but I don't necessarily need you in class with me to do that.
Right. That kind of take away some like of the independence of going to school.
It takes away the independence piece, and I think that a lot of parents feel like virtual learning is you need to be right here next to your child, and that's not necessarily true. You see what I'm saying? You can
so they don't get like distracted and like not doing their work. I just imagine kids just there. Like I don't know. I mean,
people are in their house,
right?
And we can go off on a tangent piece about all of the things. Could write a book, okay?
on the stuff you know,
on all the things that I have seen myself and have heard that others have seen, okay? But as far as, to me, the role as a parent, we just as teachers need the support, and I feel like the parents need to communicate with the teachers to know that.
Right.
Because at this point, this is not traditional school. You see what I'm saying? I don't expect you to teach your child. I expect you to try to reinforce what I'm saying. If you don't understand what I'm saying, then we need to have a conversation so I can say, hey, Tookie, this is how we solving these problems this week. Mm-hmm. And I really honestly think that if anybody comes to a teacher and says, I don't understand how to do this with my child, I'm sitting here, you know, trying to I hear that y'all are doing addition this way, I'm trying to help him, and I don't get it. And the teacher is either going to say, okay, well, I can teach you how to do it so you can help. The teacher might say, well, let your child log on at 2:00 so I can help, you know, go through some extra stuff. I don't see, if anybody has a relationship with a teacher or a teacher has a relationship with a parent, I do not think that the academic side of the support is an issue.
Do you have a lot of parents that reach out for help?
Do I have a lot of parents that reach out for help as far as academically wise?
I mean, no, not necessarily. Like, do you have a lot of parents that contact you?
Oh yeah, I always have good relationships with parents. I mean, you're gonna have, for a myriad of reasons, you're gonna have parents that don't like to communicate, that don't have the means to communicate, that don't, you know what I'm saying? But I think going back to relationship building, I build, and teachers, you know this from the beginning of the school year. Like, you build a good relationship with parents, like, they're going to communicate, and sometimes you have to communicate how they communicate, and
right,
that makes it all the better. I don't think I communicate with almost all my parents if they have the means to do that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, you have different personalities and circumstances where some communication styles are a little different, but that, you know, that's when professionalism kicks in.
Understandable.
But overall, with the frustration with the content piece, mm-hmm. I just think you just need to, I would encourage that parent
there you go
to talk to their child's teacher. And if that parent cannot get through to the teacher, tell them to call me and I'll help them.
There you go.
Let's go. Each one teach one.
For a fee. No,
for a small fee.
So my girl got to retire. You know what I'm saying? She's going to retire soon.
So another aspect that was brought up regarding virtual learning and what they don't like about it is that school is an outlet for different circumstances, as you know, you were saying, for home situations that may not be the best. People getting their meals at school, at least that's guaranteed at least 2 meals a day. um how do you feel about that? What do you have to say about that?
Um, honestly, I feel like overall it's sad because I have always worked in underprivileged areas, so I know, like, I've seen firsthand, like, the stuff that kids have gone through, the things that families go through to, like, struggle to just get by day to day, and now you're sitting here having to juggle schoolwork. I mean, some of these parents, they didn't shelter in place. You see what I'm saying? They've been essential workers. Been. You know what I'm saying? They were always at work. You see what I'm saying? Or even down to, like, people whose parents are in the medical field and all of that. So it's a struggle and a juggle. But when it comes to the services that these kids need, unfortunately, I feel like some counties and schools don't take it as seriously as others. I am fortunate enough to be in a county and a school that takes it quite seriously. So I think that in general, the public schools, my opinion of, like, lunches and things like that, I feel like they've made it as accessible as possible. I think that a lot during this time, a lot of nonprofits, a lot of community based organizations have done a lot to give food, to make sure that, like, parents are making these ends meet, because parents, poor or not, count on some of these kids to get out my refrigerator breakfast and for lunch, whether I'm paying for it or not. I need you to get up out my groceries for breakfast and for lunch, and probably for an afternoon snack or that after school dinner meal. I'm being honest. You see what I'm saying?
They eat all day when they at home. It's just they know it's food in there, so they keep going. And you know how you were during the summer. I know your mom was sick of you.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, like,
to the grocery store, it's gone before we even get to the house.
Yeah, this is a 6-month grocery bill we dealing with at this point. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's been home since March. So that piece, I feel like, do I think that in certain situations, schools and counties could do more? Possibly. I feel like from what I know, if you're on free and reduced lunch, that you're guaranteed your meals, that they're trying to make it as accessible as possible, from what I know. But on the other end of that, food is definitely not the only issue that's, being faced by children in their homes. I mean, we could just go down the list of social and emotional things that are happening.
I'm sure that, like, parents are stressed out with the virtual learning, and I'm sure they just taking their frustrations out on everybody, just taking it out on each other.
Right, I was about to say, even the kids get stressed out now.
Like, I know.
Yeah, and one fortunate thing that I know that my county has really honed in on, and I think other counties are kind of pulling up the same, is a lot of social emotional learning. So we definitely carve out time, even before pre-pandemic. We carve out time for, circling up and having meetings and being able to, like, talk about emotions. When you're feeling this way, this is what you do, like those type of scenario things. So now that we're virtual, we're carving out, like, even more time for that, on top of the fact that there's a lot of things that they would call wraparound services. So a lot of counseling services that happen in school are still continuing, even though they're virtual.
Okay, that's
good. So I feel like things that were in place in schools, like counselors, extra counseling services that schools may have provided, social emotional learning that was happening pre-pandemic, are still happening now. It might look a little different, but it's still happening. Kids are still getting services to kids. Like, things are still being offered to families. Social workers are in, like, man, they're like superheroes. Like, social workers are like
Absolutely.
doing
I'm
everything
sure.
that they
I'm
can.
sure,
You see what
especially
I'm
right now.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Before, but definitely now.
you know, unfortunately, like a school building is an outlet. Like, you know,
Most
Miss
definitely.
McMillan's
Like
classroom can
It's
be a
fun.
place that I know that I'm gonna be safe for 8 hours.
I was
You
about to say,
School always been fun.
and then just being social. Like you just got
Yeah,
some kids that are just social. They live for the social,
Interactions
just
and stuff.
interaction
Yeah.
and being in school and
yeah,
being around people because like people, music, and scenery, they are all they are all mood affectors. That's how I look at it. Like people,
yeah,
scenery, and music, they all affect your mood because you can be having a piss poor day and you can get around one person that always give
Change
you
your
that
whole
energy and that
mood.
change your whole
Mm-hmm.
mood,
Or
change
one
your whole.
F it up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let's stay on the positive light, okay? We'll stay on the positive light, but
Hey.
most
yeah.
definitely.
I miss talking with my coworkers. I'm not gonna lie. I miss standing in the hallway and being like, "Child, listen,
I
we need to go."
Time to go.
You know, it's easy to take for granted like the social pieces that you have at work, the social pieces that kids get, even with interacting with adults and other kids. Like it's really easy to take that for granted. And now, like a lot of people, you like you're right. Like some people are like, you know, some people need a hug from a stranger. Some people
mm-hmm.
need to be able to do, you know, have conversations. Some people, these kids need to be on the playground having these social skills. Like they're
Definitely.
missing out on a whole year of social skills. Like that is critical.
Definitely. Like you
Absolutely.
definitely got to
But
know how to interact with people. Like
yeah, but I mean, you can do what you can. I don't have in a pandemic. In the way I live my life in the pandemic, I don't have any solutions for socializing. Keep your distance.
Look,
And
stay
put your
baby.
mask on.
Period. So
Yeah.
do
right.
you I see that a lot of counties and a lot of schools are returning. Are you ready? Because I mean, I guess eventually each school is going to go back. I had one parent said that she felt like we should just close school for the year.
Um, am I ready? Me personally, I'm going to say no, but I need a job.
Big
I
facts.
mean, it's just at that point, it's
Tough. That's tough that you have to
yeah,
decide that. You know what I
it's
mean?
an
Like
adult
my
decision.
safety or my
My
bills.
living.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be real. I'm all three of us sitting right here. We're millennials, okay? You ain't gotta tell us nothing about leaving no job, okay?
All right.
But I mean, for us to a certain extent, I need to hear the plan. You see what I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
county's not there yet, so I need to hear the plan. I need to know what I'm going back to. I need to know what you put in place for me to be able to do that. But I mean, I have to feed my family, and I know that I am like so many other people, teachers or not, that are like, you know, can I be in this environment and still come home and keep my family safe? You
Exactly.
see what I'm
Like that's what
saying?
I'm saying.
And
that's a tough decision
That's
to
it
make.
definitely
is
That's
a tough
crazy.
decision to make, but then it's like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, the educator in me, I'm sitting there some days on virtual and being like, it's time to go back because
This is a mess. And oh,
you
This
know,
ain't no pep no more.
I don't. It's some days where you just don't feel as effective as you
I get it.
could be. You know what I'm saying? And virtual is so different. I hear so many people saying like, you know, this isn't real school. This isn't. And I mean, it's. I don't want to say it's not real school, but it's not what we used to.
Yeah, it's not traditional.
Yeah.
So you're
It's not.
unable to
It's not traditional. You have to teach at a different pace. You know what I'm saying? Behind the screen, you're learning at a different pace. I can't see, you know, what you're doing every second of the moment on your paper or on the screen. You see what I'm saying? It's a
right,
lot
right,
of
right,
stuff
right.
that like that slows down the pace of how you do things to where you want to really be back in school. Like we really want to be back. It's I know for a fact it's kindergartners, first graders whose parents are like, my child need to learn how to read. My child, you know what I'm saying? We need to be learning how to write. It's really hard to do that virtually. Are we doing it? Yes.
But it's
Is it
tough.
probably going at the same pace as it would if we were in school for 8 hours?
Definitely.
No,
No. You see what I'm
no.
saying? But I just feel like everybody needs to have a lens of being able to balance health, your personal health, the health of others, and wanting to give quality education. And I just feel like
Does that those all of those wanting all of those in one, is that like some unicorn type shit? Like, is that
in my
possible?
personal opinion, in a pandemic, that's hard to do.
I'm sure.
I
I spoke
mean,
with one.
y'all know how many germs are in a school?
I know that's where kids get sick. That's where they all kids get sick and then bring it home to the
I was about to
house.
say, guess what? One thing you do know: sick kids make sick adults.
Yeah, the chicken pox, all that, they come from school. You bringing it home. So like, what are they supposed to do? I know. I spoke to one like preschool teacher, and when I asked her, I'm sure it's hard for you all to teach the kids because of you all trying to practice all the social distancing. And she's like, well, there's really nothing that we can do.
That's crazy.
They here. You know what I mean? Like, how you tell a 1.5-year-old, 2-year-old not to eat this toy off the floor? You know what I mean? Or
Or
to
not to,
stay 6 feet from this
not
person.
even just eat it, but just you can't touch that right now.
Yeah.
I gotta wipe that off for you to touch that. You can't sit right there, or y'all gotta stand right here and don't touch nothing.
And they not gonna wear no mask all day. Like, you know what I mean? It's
It's
just
it's a trying time because I'm fortunate that, you know, my 1.5-year-old son is in the confines of my home, and people don't have that luxury.
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They don't have that luxury to do that. Like being able to be home to certain people with certain ideals about this pandemic is a luxury.
Man, I'm telling you.
You see what I'm saying? And some people don't have choices but to send their kids to daycare. You know, people wish in certain counties they do have a choice, but some people wish they had a choice to send their child back. But it's like, it's employees, it's all these things that make it up. And my county is not there yet. I know that, my health and the health of my family is at the forefront of my mind. I also need to, feed my family. So that's there, but I think at this point we've seen enough examples of schools where going back full
Did not
blown
work.
didn't work.
Look, did not work.
So I'm confident in the fact that everybody, no county at this point is going to look at the numbers in our state and in our city and in our counties and say everybody going back.
I don't know.
So
Putting that past our governor.
you're right, but he can't make choices for a school district.
Look.
Thank goodness he can't make school districts and school boards have their own
That's good.
governance.
That's
So
That's good.
I'm hopeful that there will be no county at this moment that they have learned from some of these counties that decided that they weren't going to do their virtual situation. And
In the back.
we still got people on the 14 quarantines and classes right now. So I'm hopeful that like this time being virtual has allowed a lot of decision makers to make some decisions on, because we at the end of the day this is not forever. So regardless of when and where, I hope that they're coming up with, and I know that they are coming up with plans on how to do it safely. And if the plan worked for me personally, if the plan looks like it's going to work out for me, I'm there. If the plan looks a little iffy for me and my family, I have a decision to make. And that's
Absolutely.
that's just a human thing to do. Like,
most definitely, like,
you just got to make some decisions.
Look, the twins are definitely visiting their nana in Maryland right now, but shoot, they're gonna be back, and we're gonna be back at all right. Let me call a TT or something like that. Cause honestly, I can't imagine sending them to daycare right now. And I hate that because they are so bright and need to be learning. And I know that they will learn more.
I had the same sentiments. Like I feel like when I first had MJ, like I was really set on, like, I'm probably not gonna send him to school till he's like 3. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have the means to send him with family or send him to like a home setting, even if it's like an at-home daycare, I'm gonna do that. And then like throughout his first year, I was kind of like, you know what, your little butt might be ready for school, and you're gonna go there in the fall. And then 2020 reared its head, and then I was like, skirt, no, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to find, other alternative ways, because I really was like maybe in January dead set on like I want him to be in a school setting in the fall. He'll be 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Like I want him to be in kind of a school setting to just see, some socialization and that type of situation. I was like, I think it'll be, I think that's his speed. You gotta know your kids. Like I feel like that's his speed. He might need to be there.
Right.
In March hit, and I
You
was
might know
like,
they baby. You know your baby.
yeah.
Right.
March, I was like, mm-mm. And I was fortunate enough to be able to make that decision, so I'm cool with that. But
It's not the case for everybody.
it's not the case for everybody. It's just not the case for everybody. Even when, like, with the returning situation, parents have decisions to make. Parents have the same situations as us. Like, do I send my kid to come to get COVID from their teacher? Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
from another student or
yeah,
from
yeah.
anybody.
Then you have other parents that are like, okay, I gotta go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So
And one thing that I can say is that with the consensus that I hear from everybody is every county, and no matter how they go back, are giving parents the option. So if they say we're going back, you still got the option to keep your child at home.
you do.
And yeah, that's the consensus that I've heard
Okay,
from almost
that's good.
like everybody. So if you're a parent and you say like my school's going back, but not so much my child, there's still gonna be virtual programming out there for them to
Okay.
for
Well,
them.
that's good.
Yeah,
At
that's
least they
definitely
not
good.
forcing. Shoot,
Yeah.
can I virtual work? Do I get that option? Like,
Um,
you'd be just as efficient as a virtual teacher, I'm sure, in the classroom in front of the class.
yeah, I think that's county by county as far as, and then it's federal laws behind like not being comfortable returning to work. I'm no HR specialist, but I read a couple blurbs they send in my email. But I mean, as a teacher, there are options. It's not like I don't. The first option, as far as what I have open to me, is not quitting. Let me say that. So as a teacher, and because we're in a pandemic, there are protections as far as like on the county giving you options on being able to work virtually if they have it. I know obviously it's going to be like different reasons and why you may need to work from home, but I have heard and seen that certain counties will be able to let you work virtually if they have that option. But there's also just, again, I'm no HR specialist, but there are protections behind like reasons why you personally going back is not going to work, and you being able to like have protections behind your certificate, having protections behind leaving your job, or taking the extended leave from like what's going on. I'm no HR specialist though, but I mean it's options, and the pandemic has allowed you to do that, but it's hard.
Yeah, I believe it.
Everybody gonna have a decision to make at some point, whether it's whether your county has decided a hard date on when y'all coming back, whether they say y'all not coming back to January, whether they haven't made a decision at all. Everybody gonna have a decision to make.
Everybody gonna have a
I was about to say,
decision.
yeah, everybody gonna have to cross that bridge eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a letter from my job stating December 31st may be a hard comeback date, and will be contacted. I don't think I'm going back though.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going back.
What's surprising? A lot of people are saying that. I ain't gonna put my company on blast, but a lot of people
it's the millennial in us, y'all. I'm not even trying to divert the conversation, but
it is.
Most definitely.
We just honestly, I literally was telling somebody yesterday, after being at home from this pandemic, A, having started these businesses, B, seeing my businesses actually make money, and C, getting this pandemic unemployment money. Like, really? Y'all can give me this without no issue, and then I go back to work and y'all trying to pay me this for my whole day? Y'all paying me this for the whole day? Nah,
Yeah, man. Like
nah.
working right now, truthfully, working right now would be like pounds to peanuts.
It is.
Like, cause we're not getting any of the the safety money, or they cut off
Yeah, the hazard
the
pay,
hazard pay.
Oh
You know,
yeah, exactly,
as
exactly.
far as hazard pay, like I don't even think Georgia even declared that they was gonna give it to anybody.
Yeah, because I don't remember anybody hearing about
certain, I
anybody.
think certain companies and stuff, but I think a
Yeah, I
certain
mean,
companies
but
do.
they
Oh,
started now. Like I know a company in Gwinnett. They're giving their employees $800 in hazard pay now. So they started that as far as August. But you got to think about the people in Walmart. Think about the people in gas stations.
right.
Think
That's
about the people
being essential
That's
worker.
that's
being a
what
whole
that's
bunch of people. You
yeah,
essential as fuck, bro. Like,
like come on,
Being,
man.
like I
But
said, being essential workers. You
the
been
crazy thing
essential
and the
worker.
crazy thing is the hazard pay in Georgia is $300 to $800 extra. Like, and they probably not gonna even give people. They're not trying to give
nah,
everybody
Georgia,
800 extra dollars. Like,
Listen,
Georgia bitch just been trying to make some money.
let the red state tell her you don't even need to wear a mask, but don't get me on that soapbox, okay?
yeah, we'll leave. Look, we'll leave that can of worms open.
Like, really? Yeah. So it's safe to say that we are in uncharted territories right now.
Real dark waters.
Um, and it's definitely also safe to say that our kids are gonna be a new type of kid. Like
Right, correct.
these kids
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
wearing masks. Can you imagine like what they gonna be like? This is
This
crazy. This is crazy. I can't imagine how these kids. They're gonna be very tech savvy. I'm gonna give you that much because all they've been doing is in the house
and
on
they
the computer.
already are. Like
I
I
the
was about
know.
to
fact
say
that
they
these
already
kids
text
like
savvy.
catch on to stuff like this, I'm talking about you can run a full blown Zoom meeting, okay, Mr. 5 year old. You can run a full Zoom
Know
meeting.
what's
Okay,
going
so you
on.
know how to mute everybody. You can tell them to mute their how to raise their hands. You can do all of that. Okay, these kids are going to be ready for the virtual life. They already play video games all day.
Right.
They already know how to do half this stuff. And kids are resilient.
Most definitely.
You see what I'm saying? It's the adults
Yeah.
that don't
That's
like to
true.
change.
That's true.
Kids,
I remember
they're
when
resilient.
they first sent the kids home at the end of last semester. Me and one of my homegirls literally like got in an argument at work because she was mad about the virtual learning or whatever, and she was saying that the teacher shouldn't get paid if the parents are at home teaching their kids, then the teacher shouldn't get paid. And I'm just like, what? Like, really? So you mad because you got to deal with your badass child? That's what's going on. And on God, the first week that they was at home, she broke her arm from going upside that little boy head because this is what these teachers been dealing with. Like I said, I'm not a parent of a virtual learning student. So I cannot say what the gripes of the parents are, but I do know that a lot of parents just didn't want to deal with it. I mean, not just didn't want. It's easier to send your child to school for eight
Most
hours and have somebody
definitely.
else deal with it.
Most
That's
definitely.
just period. And these kids been causing these teachers hell, and now they cause your kitchen hell for 8 hours a day. That
Not even
they
your kitchen,
Yeah,
your whole household. Wherever your kid goes, it's gonna be a mess. Y'all know how it
yeah.
goes.
yeah, but well, we do appreciate teachers like yourself
Most
for
definitely.
remaining positive and actually caring about your craft, your career, your students,
Your profession.
your profession. There we go. Thank you, bro.
Thanks.
Um, you know what I mean? Because, like you said, I know it's extra work. I'm sure it's much more work at home than it is at school. And then plus, I know that a lot of just virtual home workers are having an issue with being able to separate home from work, or
Yeah.
not being able to separate it, just not having that separation at
Yeah, I was about
all.
to say not having
Look,
that separation
not
at all.
having that
Like
separation
you
at all.
said, like you can sit in your office and leave your office space and see little MJ, but then
But then,
eventually you're gonna have to come back to the office
yeah,
space.
that
Like,
desk is still in the corner of my eye. Like, you got
right.
this to do, list to do. Like,
Right,
mm,
right. So
yeah.
we definitely
We
appreciate
definitely appreciate
teachers such as yourself for juggling the life of the pandemic.
you. And I definitely hope you have a fantastic rest of your Zoom year. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that's
Yeah.
like, I know that's,
My Zoom year.
yeah, like this what we got to call it. Like,
But Herb, we're not gonna claim that it's gonna be a whole year.
I mean, hey, listen, 2020 is Zoom year, okay? Like 2021,
Oh yeah,
we can go to a
it
different.
was part of the last.
You know what I'm
semester.
saying? 2020 is Zoom year. You know what I'm saying? We gon' put that positive energy out there that, you know, the Zoom calls continue to be a success. Your students continue to learn as frequently as they can on these Zoom calls. You know what I'm saying?
And not give you hell
Right.
during class.
And you're able to at least progress with them and lead them to that progress of, hey, listen, this is what we have to do for now until it changes.
Yeah.
Let's just do what we got to do.
Let's
get this over with. So I definitely, you know what I'm saying, put that positive energy out there for you. You know, you've been at it for a long time, you know, so
I need it.
Yeah.
Okay, I need it. I want to just say one thing to anybody who can hear me out there in these mother loving streets.
Hey.
We just, you know, we're just gonna do this. You know, it's possible. The teaching part is possible. The parenting part of a virtual student is possible. Virtual learning, it's possible. I just want you all to stay with it. Don't give up. And find an area in your home where we don't see y'all backgrounds in your houses.
Period.
And on that note,
thank you again for joining us for this Mother Loving session. We definitely appreciate all the information and feedback that you have provided and the insight that you have provided on virtual learning in the year of
20.
Nah, I was, you know what? I can't even, I'm not even 2020.
2020. Cheap.
Do you have any learning pages or any social medias that you want to plug in?
Sure. You all can follow me on my education page, which is I'm gonna spell it out for you. It's McMillans_corner, McMillans_corner. That's my Instagram and my education Twitter. So yeah, you can follow.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow her.
Most definitely, she'll be giving educational tips.
Absolutely,
and I'm sure she'll be open to helping.
Oh yeah, we could definitely dialogue all of that.
And so yeah, y'all most definitely, like, we in the time of now, like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, assistance, we all need assistance now. Everybody's on a level playing field right now. So let's each one teach one, man, and let's get out of this pandemic on top instead of on the bottom.
Absolutely. Well, you be safe.
Yeah.
And thank you again.
Most definitely.
You guys, this has been another segment on Mother Loving Session. I am your host, Tookie.
And I am Herbs, the highest voice on the airwaves.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time.